We interrupt this live coverage to bring you a breaking news bulletin. Scientists and linguists at the Pentagon have deciphered the alien message. It seems they've come here for one thing.
Hey, everybody! We're all gonna get late!
God, I haven't had a Dickens cider in a long time.
I say you're a lying scumbag.
Thanks for the hot tip.
Hey, FRD, it's your buddy. It's the 42nd Partial 44th President of the United States of America. How in the hell you doing, FRD?
William Jefferson Clinton in the house, everybody. What's up there, Bill?
Holy shit.
God damn it, are you fucking with me? I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Well, from what I've heard in my limited experience on, hanging around.
I haven't got a brain.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
So where the fuck are all the guests and people? God damn it, I'm gonna promote this shit again.
That's right, this show might even make you throw up or want to punch a baby.
He's got to get his Schlerbins on the dizzle.
I'm having issues.
Tracy said if you're gonna keep playing Toto, she's bailing.
I don't care. She can bail if she wants to. Change the fucking station if you want to. It's called Insomniac Radio. It's not called Tracy Radio.
Ask for JJ.
Man, something about being on the Insomniac Radio Network. I always end up feeling like I'm high.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come. Step forward.
Hey, this is great, man.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
I mostly watch the pornography nowadays because ever since Jenny died, I haven't been getting laid very much.
That's right, everyone. You're listening to the Insomniac Radio Network. It's Talkability with your host, Ozzy. Join him live as he brings you the most talked about and controversial topics. And don't forget to call in at 1-813-642-3166 to get your requests in on the line and to talk to the host.
You know we
Who
are.
said that? Who said that happy horse picture?
That would be me. I'm FRD. You might have heard it.
I don't care who you are, you stupid motherfucker. Come over here and I'll suck your fucking cock.
That's right, guys. Don't forget to call into the show at 1-813-642-3166 and follow our blog at thoughtsonhigh.com. What's up, guys? You're listening to the Insomniac Radio Network right here on Shoutcast Radio, and I'm your host, Ozzy, and we're going to bring you some awesome guests today, guys. If you guys have been following our blog and our posts, then you will know that Naomi Grossman is coming on the show. The host has officially made his first landing. You know, gratefully invited you guys to come listen to the interview live and free on the internet. Pleasure that you're here, and thank you, Zach Miller from Horror Aficionados on Facebook, and thank you for sharing that in your page, and everyone who's liked the page and followed the Insomniac Radio Network from the beginning. We're going to have a good show today, guys. We're going to keep a little bit of music going, but after that, we're going to break it down and see if Spookman wants to come on for this show, and yeah. Alright, we're going to play some Halls. It's a local artist here in Tampa from Power Street Entertainment. It's Halls. It's Rainbow. Hey guys, it's Ozzy from the Insomniac Radio Network, and let me just tell you right now that I just got some awesome etching done from Skipjack Bill Etching in Cape Coral, Florida. And let me just say that their customer service is fantastic and out the roof. They do everything from cars, boats, shops, windows, glass etching, band banners, you name it, they do it. Just call them at 239-443-7929. Ask for Skipjack Bill. And they're also on Facebook at facebook.com/skipjackbill.etching. Once again, that's Skipjack Bill Etching. Check them out, guys. They do some amazing work. You've been listening to the Talkability Radio Show here on WIRN 81.3 Internet Radio. Hey, what's up,
we
guys?
interrupt this live coverage to bring you a breaking news bulletin.
Wait a minute.
Scientists and linguists at the Pentagon.
What the hell? Where is Yeti? Yeti has, like I said before, Yeti hasn't even come in the studio to come to work. And, it's just ridiculous. I don't know how someone so good at his job would not even participate in what he loves to do. It's just, it blows me away that Yeti is not here, and I don't have any coffee yet. But we got something cool coming up, guys. We have Naomi Grossman coming on the show here on the Insomniac Radio Network, and she'll be talking about her movie. And as you all know, she's from American Horror Story Asylum. She played Pepper, and she's willing enough and gracious enough to come on the show and take time out of her busy day, so that you listeners can enjoy something extra. That's all we have to offer is, something for you guys is always beneficial, and we appreciate it, and thank you for listening. Wow, I can't say enough that she is coming on the show, and that's just, thank you so much, Naomi, and it means so much that you take this little time out of your day and do this for us, and it's a very good gesture of yours, and we appreciate it, and you're an awesome lady. Just keep up what you do some more awesome movies, and that'll be awesome. We appreciate it. Right now, we're going to play a local artist here from the Insomniac Radio Network. It's the Grayson Rogers Band. They're all the way from Southwest Florida, guys. They're #1 on country rock on Reverb Nation. Here they are. It's Grayson Rogers, Too Loud.
Get out your guitars, dust off them cowboy boots. Bring a couple of six-pack, get a hold of them grassroots. We're gonna have a party for you and all your friends. We're gonna start when the sun goes down, and I doubt it'll ever end. Way out here underneath the stars. 'Cause hey, y'all, this is who we are. Bending near if you're close, listen up if you're far. You have to forgive us if we seem a little too proud. We play our country a little too loud. Gonna get a little rowdy, gonna party in the mud. Break out them four wheels, no stopping till we're done. Crank that country music until the speakers start to give. Well, out here in the moonlight is the only way to live. Dancing on the hoods of our cars. 'Cause hey, y'all, this is who we are. Bending near if you're close, listen up if you're far. You have to forgive us if we seem a little too proud. Just get up and dance, let's party all night. But this is wrong and I wanna be right. Just you and me in the down and dirty crowd. We play our country a little too loud. Guitar. Hey, y'all, this is who we are. Bending near if you're close, listen up if you're far. You have to forgive us if we seem a little too proud. Just get up and dance, let's party all night. But this is wrong, I don't wanna be right. Just you and me in the down and dirty crowd. good fun. You have to forgive us if we seem a little too proud. Just get up and dance, let's party all night. If this is wrong, I don't wanna be right. Just you and me and the down and dirty crowd. We play our country a little too loud. We play our country a little too loud.
That was the Grayson Rogers Band right here on the Insomniac Radio Network. Guys, I'm your host, Ozzy, and you can check them out at ReverbNation.com/The Grayson Rogers Band, as well as on Facebook. That's www.facebook.com/The Grayson Rogers Band. And you know what, guys? We're still trying to give away some Grayson Rogers stickers here. We have a trivia question coming up in a little bit after the interview, hopefully. And we'll be giving away stickers. All you got to do is tell us the answer to our trivia questions. So that's not too hard, guys. You know, they're pretty cool. They're black and white, and they say the Grayson Rogers Band. They have a QL code, and as well as the Facebook. That's facebook.com/The Grayson Rogers Band. If you are willing and wanting to follow them, they are an amazing band. They will be up here again. They were just recently up here. Let's see, what was it? Friday night, they were at Whiskey Joe's in Tampa, Florida, and they will be back here shortly in a month or two to come to the Southern Ground Saloon in Nebraska Avenue here in Tampa, Florida. And yeah, that's a really good thing. And we're going to do a live broadcast when they're back in town, and we'll be broadcasting live on location from Southern Ground Saloon here in Tampa, Florida as well. And that'll be another first for us, guys. We're going to do our first broadcast. And shout out to Chuck from Southern Ground Saloon. Thank you for doing this for me and accepting the Insomniac Radio Network in and bringing it more local, guys. That's what we're trying to do. And yeah, I think that, you know, being local is a big point in being a musician or an artist, because think about, you know, Kanye West and Josh Groban and you know, Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. Where did they start? Guys, come on. They started at home. Everyone's got to start somewhere. That's why you say, you know, oh, well, I don't even know why that guy's on stage. He sucks. Well, if he sucks, then why aren't you up there? If you can do any better, get up there. At least he's up there doing what he loves to do. He's making an effort. And the only way to get better is to fail and learn from your mistakes and grow. But anyway, you know, it doesn't matter. It's a good time all around, and you know, we're really excited to have Naomi on, and I hope she's not spending too much time out of her day, because I know she's very, 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 very busy, and just gracious enough to come on the show, and we greatly appreciate that. I still don't know who Yeti is. Yeti hasn't even walked in the studio. By the way, if you don't know who Yeti is my producer and my he's my grunt, basically, or, you know, intern, if you would say. He gets, you know, my coffee and stuff like that here in the studio. He comes in a little bit before I am, and today I was like, oh, we're, you know, might be running late. But nope, not running late. He's running really late, and that can jeopardize his job, guys. If you have a job, appreciate it, because not a lot of people have jobs and need jobs. We need jobs. Everyone needs a job, and you know, you have to be careful if you have a job, because there's other people out there struggling to get a job. And if you're just not doing your job to full capacity, and especially if you work in the food business and you're cutting corners and not wiping down tables properly or sanitizing your equipment properly, then you're jeopardizing other people, and that's not a good thing, guys. It's not really a good thing. You can get someone sick or even killed, by food poisoning or bacteria, and then you can in turn lose your job, and maybe some psychological issues from the impact of hurting someone or making them very ill. So guys, if you have a job, appreciate it, do it to its fullest, and respect what it is, respect it, and people won't get hurt, and yeah, it'll just be a good time for everyone. So, Spookman. Does Spookman want to come on? Let's see what he wants to do. We can do that. Let's see if he's down for a call. But you guys have been listening to the Insomniac Radio Network. We will be having a very special guest here on the show. I've said this like 17 million times, but it's very exciting, guys. It's Naomi Grossman from the American Horror Story Asylum. It's Pepper. How can you go wrong? You can't. I don't think you can. And anyone who doesn't agree with me, you can call in 813-642-3166. Do you like horror? Do you like creepy films? Do you like B-flicks? Well, visit Spooky Empire's The Ultimate Horror Weekend right here in Orlando, Florida, coming up October 25th through the 27th. Guys, check it out, spookyempire.com, and I'll just let you know a little bit of what's going to be there. It's just a great time. It's at the Doubletree at Universal in Orlando, Florida. We have, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 cast reunion, and that's awesome, okay? Guys, that's just something we have. We have Doug Bradley. He played Pinhead. We have Kane Hodder, who played Friday the 13th. Rico Browning from the Creatures from the Black Lagoon, as well as Julie Adams from the Black Lagoon. Dee Schneider and the legendary Kiss member, Peter Criss. Lisa Marie from Ed Wood, Mars Attacks, Sleepy Hollow, Lords of Salem. Guys, celebrities like that. These are going to be right here in Orlando, Florida, 25th of October through the 27th, right here in Orlando. www.spookyempire.com, guys. Check them out. You can't miss it. Please, don't miss it. We're the largest horror convention in the United States, okay? They're huge. We have top-notch people coming. We have top-notch celebrities. We have top-notch volunteers and dedicated staff. Shout out to everyone who volunteers and works for Spooky Empire. You guys do awesome. We put on a better show each and every time. You guys are the best. And and shout out to everyone who comes and attends Spooky Empire, because it is such a great honor to have that name. You know, we are the largest horror convention in the United States. That says a lot. And it wouldn't happen without you guys, because if you guys don't attend our shows or our conventions, what is there? There's just a whole bunch of volunteers wasting their time, standing around, that no one's going to come to. But we're grateful and blessed with that. And that's how I met Naomi here. I was working here in May. They have a Mayhem convention. It's basically, it's the same thing, but it's mixed genres. It's not all horror. It's TV stars and stuff like that, and musicians. We had some musicians here. We had Zach Wilde and Dennis Rodman there last May, so that's pretty cool. And if you guys want to check it out, just check it out, spookyempire.com, okay? We're going to play some Soft Cell. It's Tainted Love here on the Insomniac Radio Network. Call in, guys. Insomniac Radio Network is now sponsored by Power Street Entertainment, featuring Halls.
I got that. My girl is her pussy. We smoke. I got that. My girl is her pussy.
For more information about Power Street Entertainment or Halls or any other artists that they have, please visit www.powerstreetent.com. That's powerstreetentertainment.com. That's right, guys. Holy crap, there's an echo. That's right, guys. You're listening to the Insomniac Radio Network right here. It's 5:22 in Tampa, Florida. We're waiting for our guest, very special guest to the night, calling in Naomi Grossman from the American Horror Story Asylum. She played Pepper, and she'll be here on the Insomniac Radio Network, calling in hopefully soon. And you know what? We're very blessed to have her on the show, taking precious time out of her day. And shout out to Spookman for just joining in with us. And whoever's listening in Largo, Florida, thank you for listening to the Insomniac Radio Network. Share this post if you've seen it on Facebook or anywhere else, on Google Plus or Twitter or Tumblr. Please share that. We would greatly appreciate it. We can't wait to get this thing started. Do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns? Call in real quick, 813-642-3166. If not, I think I'm going to play some more music. Do you think I should do that or no? Oh, speaking of, we had we have a new show. She's coming to the network. It's going to be a tarot reading show. You guys can call in when that show's live on the number 813-642-3166. Still follow us at wirn.wordpress.com. Okay. And giving you guys time to write that down. You can call in with, if you're having a hard time in your life, or you want a little question answered, or, want a little bit insight on something, then call in. I'll read your tarot. We'll get you helped out and feeling better, and see what you guys can do for us and we can do for you. Because if you call in, that benefits us, and if you call in, we help you. So it's just a win-win situation, and it's good stuff, guys. We're all here for a reason. We're all here to work together, and that's what it is. But we got some cool stuff coming up. We're still trying to give away these Grayson Rogers band tickets, stickers. They are black and white, and they're really awesome. I have one on my laptop, and I have one on my Xbox. So I'm giving the other two away, guys. I'm being gracious here. If you want to call in, 813-642-3166 to win this trivia question. Hopefully you can get it. Okay, guys? You know why? Because it's a song. If you know the original artist who did this song, then please call in, 813-642-3166 right here on the Insomniac Radio Network.
Did we miss a song that you wanted to hear? Well, if so, call in and give us your request at 1-813-642-3166 right here on Tampa Bay's public online radio, www.thoughtsonhigh.com.
That's right, guys. You're listening to the Insomniac Radio Network right here on Shoutcast Radio, and I'm your host, Ozzy, and this is the Talkability Radio Show, broadcasting live and around the world on the Insomniac Radio Network for your listening pleasure, guys. Shout out to everyone listening. Shout out to everyone who shares our pages and our posts and follows our blog. We appreciate that, guys. Without you, there would be no Insomniac Radio Network. Okay. We're hanging out here in the studios. Yeti is still not coming to work. I'm getting a little bit aggravated. I still want my coffee. So if you guys want to come in, make my coffee for me, press a few buttons here and there and play some music, then you're more than welcome to come in and be an intern. Heck, it's a good job. All you got to do is just push some buttons, and it's not too hard. Okay? Yeah, it's really cool. We have the special guest coming on the show. Guys, if you haven't been following us, you should be, because we're going to continue having more awesome celebrity guests here on the show. We have Naomi Grossman from the American Horror Story Asylum. She played Pepper. I met her last May at Spooky Empire's Mayhem. Thank you for Spooky Empire. Thank you for letting me volunteer, because without that, I would have never got the chance to meet this nice woman and become, somewhat of a good acquaintance / friend. She's just a down-to-earth, really nice lady, and has taken time out of her day to come on the show and give us a little interview and talk with us for a little bit and take your calls, guys. If you want to call in when she's on, 813-642-3166, and I'm sure she'll be glad to talk to you and take your questions. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. And I think we're going to do some sponsors while we wait just a little bit more. It just turns 5:30, and that's when the interview was. So she might be chilling, hanging out for a little bit more. And guys, if you want your tarot read tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing a tarot reading live on the radio right here on the Insomniac Radio Network. But right here, here's our sponsors. And
hey guys, it's Ozzy, and you're listening to, it's the advice line here on the Insomniac Radio Network. Call in at 1-813-642-3166 to get your voice on the line. Call in with your questions, and we'll answer them as soon as possible and to the best of our knowledge. So join us right here live on the advice line, 1-813-642-3166. Are you going through a hard time? Do you need some thoughts brought to the light? Do you want some questions answered? Well, you're in the right place. It's the Advice Line Live with your host, Ozzy and the Nowhere Crew. Call in at 1-813-642-3166 to get all your questions answered.
attention. What you are about to hear may waste your time, scar you for life, or you might love it. The Insomniac Radio Network urges you not to take this show seriously or to heart. It's only entertainment. Follow our blog at thoughtsonhigh.wordpress.com or like us on Facebook at Insomniac Radio Network. Now, without further ado, on to the show. From laugh out louds to WTFs, the world of texting has become a cultural phenomenon.
Oh my God, really?
That's awesome.
Oh, George, you didn't know?
Yeah, you heard right. And a large majority of teens, men, women, and children have taken this wave to a whole new level. But wait. Do you have what it takes to keep up with this new way of communication?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh man, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard.
Don't worry, help is here.
Oh, thank gosh.
Jim, don't worry. Texting Manual for Everyone is a compilation of over 5,000 signs, acronyms, texting symbols, and it's only $1.
Whoa, no way.
That's right, guys. It's only $1. And all you got to do to get it is go to www.tm1.blogspot.com. Hey guys, it's Ozzy from the Insomniac Radio Network, and did you know that you can order a custom wood sign from arttowngifts.com with any quote, saying, joke, or text that you want? You can even pick your text, colors, lettering style, and size, so have some fun with it. Create a sign for your house, dorm, bedroom, or man cave like I have. Surprise a friend with a joke sign. Create a family name sign for a wedding or anniversary gift. Visit arttowngifts.com or call them toll-free at 877-278-8696. And they'll hook you up with a custom sign made by you. That's right, guys. If you want an advertisement for your Facebook, your Twitter, your company, hit us up at fiverr.com/InsomniacRadioNet. Insomniac Man. Hit us up, fiverr.com/InsomniacMan. We'll get that on the show, 60 seconds or less, for $5, guys. Anything you want, $5 only. No change, no tax, nothing like that. $5 goes straight to PayPal, out of your credit card, and right to me. And then I get that on the show, and you guys get more followers or listeners or whatever you're looking for, and that's going to be beneficial to you guys. And you know what else is going to be beneficial to you guys? We have a great celebrity guest coming on the show tonight. And here in a little bit, she's just sharing and sharing the post that she's going to be on the show and joining us here shortly. So that's beneficial to you. And that's what's good. That's what's good, guys. We're very glad that we have that here on the show. We're going to play a quick song. And then we're going to go see if we can bring her on. All right, guys, that was 311's Large in the Margin here on the Insomniac Radio Network. We're going to give an awesome guest here a call. It's Naomi Grossman from the American Horror Story Asylum. She played Pepper. Let's get her on the line, see what she's doing. How is she doing?
Hello.
Hello, how are you, Naomi?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing wonderful.
Great.
I'm very glad that you were willing to call in and take the precious time out of your day to do this quick little interview for us.
Of course.
I appreciate it. And if you don't, I'm sure you remember me. I met you here at Spooky Empire's Mayhem.
Sure. Yes, I do.
Yes. Thank you so much. You were awesome, and we were glad that you were able to come to that as well.
That was a blast. I had a great time.
We always have a good time there. It's the fans, the celebrities that come, and it's weird because people say, oh, well, how can you go up and talk to a celebrity just, like you could talk to your best friend? I tell them they're just people. They have a talent. Sure. They're out there, making their money. You work at this job, they work at that job. That's all.
Right.
So, it's really, I see you, a lot of people see people like celebrities like you and Thetis and, bigger names like that as celebrities. So, I'm not on their standard, but in all actuality, you are.
Of course. It's
because,
so ridiculous.
We're all human. Anyway, I appreciate you guys coming on the show. And once again, guys, she played Pepper in the American Horror Story Asylum, and very well an actress she works with. And I would like to get ready on my first question, because this will start at the preliminary. There, that's a hard word. Anyway, so at what age did you know or did you feel that you wanted to do acting as a career?
Oh, I was really young. I would say like 6 or 7.
Right.
And I never ever, went back. In a way, it's, I'm kind of blessed to I never ever questioned what I wanted to be when I grew up. Just always knew. So in a way, that's great, because I know a lot of people really struggle with that. But at the same time, I've also sort of, I think, battled, in terms of, because I have been sort of at it for a while, and a lot of the time, without, any sort of easily measured success. I think, there was a lot of times where I thought, I can't quit. Like, I just, this is all I know. This is all I've wanted. Like, what else is there? So, in a way, it's been sort of a blessing and a curse.
Right. I've been following you on Facebook, and I've seen that post at you at mime school. Was that it?
I mean, it was just, we were like a drama camp at the age of, like 7 or 8. I don't even know. I think it's kind of cool, because just last week I was up in Northern California, and I went and sort of spoke and taught for some kids there at a camp. And I thought, wow, here I am. Like a week later, that picture just sort of popped up on the internet. And I thought, oh my goodness, like I'm them and they're me. And, it's sort of this circle.
Yeah, and then you bring back the memories too, and that's what's awesome. It really is.
Yeah, and who knows? Like, maybe I inspired some of those kids, and maybe they'll grow up to be, the next Pepper or whatever. Like, that's kind of cool,
or they might, to start their own studio or something and teach what you guys were taught and inspired, and now they're inspiring
I mean,
others.
It's amazing. So many of my friends from back in the day are still at it. Sometimes some are producers, some are writers, some are comedians, but so many of us from such a young age are still very much in the biz, which is cool.
Well, we have a caller here on the line. Let's see if we can take them, or if they're just a troll. It's 248. How you doing? You're on the Insomniac Radio Network.
Yes, I have a question for Miss Grossman.
Yes, one moment. Oh, there we go. You can ask your question to Naomi now.
Yes. Hi, Miss Grossman.
Hi there.
I have a question. How did it feel to join the ensemble in American Horror Story Asylum?
Oh, wow. Well, it was, it was a little bit intimidating, given you look at the group I was joining, it's like all names, in a way. I was like kind of the only non-name coming in. So, yeah, I mean, and even like, major, Oscar nominees have roles like at the same sort of level, if you will, as I, and that was kind of overwhelming. And especially, like, for example, my makeup, I had 2 makeup artists, while, Jessica Lange has 1. Granted, she has less makeup she needs, but it's just one of those things where I was like, wow, this is real deal. I'm playing with the big boys here. So it was a little, it was intimidating, but exciting, and honestly, like, I've been at this for so long that I in a way, it's my time,
It was, because you were fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I can't wait to see your future endeavors, and thank you for taking my phone call.
Of course.
Thank you for calling in. We appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Always.
Thanks.
So there you have it. We have our first caller for Naomi. She played Pepper in the American Horror Story Asylum. And, moving on to our second question, we were just talking about how you got started. And, it goes back a long time. And that a lot of people have that talent and that in their blood. And they just have that passion and that fire to do what not other people are willing and capable of doing, or even can't, because, you know, they have to have a certain job to make the bills and this and that. So for anyone who wants to who wants to start a career in acting, movies or whatever, you know, producing or whatever, what would be their best advice for them?
Oh gosh, I don't know how much time you have. I have a lot to say about this.
Oh, go for it.
Well, and don't get me wrong, I've had to, you know, make a living all along as well. Like, I've done all kinds of crazy jobs. Like, I think all actors do, you know. I mean, I drove the Red Bull truck around town. I modeled nude in art classes. You know, of course I waited tables. Who hasn't waited tables? Yeah. You know, I used to teach Spanish at the Playboy Mansion. I mean, I've really, like, you know, I've paid my dues. As far as actual advice on, you know, getting into the business, I mean, for me, I think there's this myth that if you're, you know, related to somebody or you have, like, the right, you know, measurements or whatever, that's going to be enough. That, granted, I'm not, and I don't, so it didn't work for me, but I think that's a really antiquated idea. I think actors anymore really need to be proactive and totally involved in their career. Like, there's too many people that are too good at too many things for you to just sit around waiting for yourself to get cast. You know, I think, you know, anymore, you kind of need to create your own opportunities. You know, if you want a TV show, well then, you know, write it already. Or, you know, I think so many people go, wow, you know, you write your own stuff and you produce your own material and gosh, you know, have your own solo shows. And for me, I think that's just was sort of how I had to do it. Like, there was nobody else paying attention. Like, I wasn't getting cast on my own. Right. Once I finally sort of stopped worrying about, like, how I was gonna, you know, have any sort of success, I just, you know, threw it all away and did what kind of pleased me. And that was, like I said, kind of writing a lot of my own material and getting it up on stage and touring it around the world. Actually, I took my solo shows to Edinburgh and London and New York and you know, all over colleges. You know, I have like a ton of stuff on the internet. Some not. Little videos up online, and I think just being creative, like kind of staying active and you know, exercising my comedic and or just creative muscles, and getting myself out there has been really important. You know, nobody's just knocking on my door otherwise. Right. So, you know, I think at the end of the day, like, just like I said to the caller, you know, it makes sense that they didn't hire like a name actor for a role like Pepper, obviously, because, you know, they're basically not covered completely, but a lot of my face in prosthetics. And if you're going to pay for a big name actor, then you want to use their face. You don't want to cover it up. So that makes sense. But at the same time, they needed someone, not to pat myself on the back, but somebody with some, you know, chops, some acting chops. And so there was no way for them to see that in me without me sort of creating my own stuff for them to, you know, check out and cast me based on. So that would be my real advice. I mean, also, like, you know, you have to, I know it sounds cliche, but, you know, kids stay in school. Right. Like, you really, anymore, it's not enough to be just, you know, pretty or have big boobs. Like, you need to, you know, be smart and have an education and all of that. And some people think, oh, well, honestly, Naomi, you know, how much was your Northwestern education and how much do you use? But honestly, I use it all the time. There's a huge, you know, alumni network here in LA that I'm constantly drawing upon. But I mean, if anything, like, just think about like how much you kind of need to know, just to let's say I did want to write my own, you know, pilot or show or take Asylum for that matter. You know, like, Ryan Murphy is really smart. Like, he, you know, he watched Todd Browning's Freaks. And that's how he knows about this character Schlitzie. And that's how he knew to create the character Pepper. Like, I think just being intellectually curious and involved in the world, you know, and that means reading books and watching movies and just being curious about things that are other than just acting, because I think that's a real pitfall. I think a lot of kids, that's all they do is just learn to act, and it's just not enough.
Yeah, definitely. Education is a big key in starting out, and it's a backbone for people who not always, like you said, had the pretty face and the big boobs and all this. They'll need some sort of a backfall. You need an education. Like, I have a culinary degree. I have a degree in digital photography. Do I use it?
That's
No.
cool.
But thank you. But I still have it to fall back on if I need to.
Yeah.
So, and that brings me to another short question. How did you go from you to Pepper during the prosthetic and the makeup sequence? I watched that video on YouTube. It was very awesome. If you guys get a chance to check it out, YouTube, Naomi Grossman, into Pepper. And it'll come up, and it's really interesting if you're into prosthetics and, all that makeup. So, how long did it actually take?
The actual makeup process was about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, people always say, "Oh my God, how did you do that?" Honestly, it was the easiest thing in the world. I got there often as early as 5 in the morning because, you got to do the math. If you're going to start shooting at, let's say, 9, which is a totally normal, if not late hour to start shooting,
that's where education comes
you need
in
me
too.
there a good, let's say 4 hours ahead because we need to do a rehearsal beforehand. So, do the math. I'm going to have to be there by at least, let's say, 5. So I get there at, 5 in the morning, and half the time they'd, tilt me back and ask me to close my eyes and shut my mouth. And so most of the time I was just asleep while they put the prosthetics on. And then they'd, tilt me back up, and, 3 hours had gone by and I was Pepper.
That's crazy.
So, the makeup really wasn't hard at all.
Oh,
Not
no.
for me,
Yeah.
anyway. I'm sure for the makeup people, that's a whole other story. It was very hard because, if anything, my makeup's really seamless. Like, you can't, if you look really carefully, it's hard to see kind of where it begins and where it ends, and that's the beauty of it. That's what makes it so real looking.
Yeah.
My process in terms of how I became Pepper, aside from the makeup, was, of course, I watched Ted Ronning's Freaks and really, studied that character Schlitzie, since that was my, well, not my inspiration, but that was the inspiration, the writers and producers' inspiration for the character. And so, I pretty much did my best Schlitzie impersonation. Obviously, I worked with a coach, and we kind of created a backstory and all that kind of stuff that an actor does. And obviously, I used him to gauge me as far as if I was going too big or too small. Because let's face it, I do a lot of comedy, and I didn't want to seem like I was making fun.
Right, yeah.
And, that's about it. A lot of the time, I didn't have a whole lot of information. I would really only get the script, they wouldn't give me entire scripts. They only sent me the sides that I was in. So half the time, I'd get, for one episode, and, they usually shoot about a page, a page a minute. That doesn't make sense. Basically, one page represents a minute on TV.
Okay.
So I would oftentimes only just get a handful of pages. I'd only get what I was in. And so I didn't necessarily know what was going on in the rest of the episode. I would actually watch on Wednesday nights with the rest of, the world to see what was going on. And I was just as shocked as everybody. I found out I died the day everybody else did. So, when Sister Mary Eunice says, she cut her baby's, or she cut her sister baby's ears off. Sorry to, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, but, that was the first I'd heard, I thought, I assumed that was true. It never occurred to me that I'd been framed necessarily, because I only took, what was on the page as the truth. In a way, part of me thinks, oh, that was very smart of them to not give me any more information, because, let's face it, I'm Pepper. Like, I'm pretty clueless. Like, I don't know. What do I know?
Right.
But it was a little bit of a challenge as an actress to fill in those gaps on my own without, all the information.
Correct.
Sorry, I know you said that was a short question, but by now you've realized with me there is no short question. I have a long answer for everything.
It's good though. It's good. It's really good. A lot of people give short answers, and that's it doesn't bring for a good conversation.
Oh no, I could talk to a brick wall.
I can too. I'm sure I could. I have actually. I've talked to myself. I've been walking around, and anyway, that leads to, okay, you did the physical and the acting. What about psychological? What do you do to get into the mind of Pepper? Is there a special thing? And that brings up another topic, but it kind of covers it. So,
the physically really the physicality really informs the mental emotional in my experience. I know for me, big characters are my forte, and so when I put on a wig, I take on that character. I think any sort of sketch comedian will say the same thing. Like if you with put on a big long dark mane, you're gonna act like a Spanish soap star. For me, when I would look in the mirror with these like thick plastic pieces on my face, it just sort of made me want to act a certain way. Especially, of course, like I said, having watched Schlitzie on a loop all summer long in preparation for the role, I was...
it was ingrained.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, oh, I know what to do with this character. Yeah, I just kind of go there. Obviously, then when my character changed, when I, had my mysterious change sort of halfway through the season, that was more of a challenge because, I'd gotten Schlitzie down to a science, but I hadn't really ever worked on this, smart Pepper. So, if anything, that was more of a challenge. I think, but that's kind of how I'm unique as an actress. I think for most actors, doing, kind of early Pepper would be the challenge, and then being kind of straight and still and subtle is maybe more their comfort zone. For me, it's the opposite.
Right.
I'm really good at really big characters. Like, there's a reason why you haven't seen me on TV, delivering straight monologues. It's not something that I'm that comfortable with. Not like big characters.
That's awesome, and it takes another person to act like that. It's just not just something you get up in the morning and do. It takes a lot of preparation and like I said, mental power as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's all sorts of different types of actors out there. I know for me, especially like I said, being kind of a developmental actor, and when I say that, I just mean that means sort of, before you're known in any way. I had a really hard time, only because for developmental actors like that, they're not going to entrust these really juicy roles like Pepper on someone who doesn't have a whole lot of credits, And so those types of actors are generally delegated the, nurse number 3 to the left type roles. And the fact is, there's a certain type of actor for those parts. You know what I mean? Like, there are kind of wallflower types. Not that there's anything wrong with them. Those actors, people like that, work a lot.
Yeah, they need a lot.
But their whole job is really kind of to blend in and fade away and not necessarily, upstage the star. In my case, like, I never could get those parts. And I was like, come on, Hollywood. Like, geez, what's it going to take? Like, you won't let me, like, take your order, Charlie Sheen? Because, you know what I mean? Like, how hard is it to be a waitress? But the fact is, I now know about myself. I am an actor that sort of attracts attention and takes I don't just blend in, you know? And so that's why I never could get those parts. And that's why Pepper, in a way, is just that much more of a blessing, because it is a role that demands or commands attention. And yet, you know, they needed to give to somebody without a huge name yet, you know?
Yeah, I totally understand how you mean.
Yeah.
Same way with bands and stuff like that. It's the same way.
Right.
There are certain bar bands, and there are good like top-notch country singers, or, you know, top-notch Billboard artists that will eventually get up to that, you know. There's a different spectrum in every field and every media that you do. Guys, if you want to call in, 813-642-3166 here on the Insomniac Radio Network. Call in and talk to Naomi Grossman. It's Pepper from the American Horror Story Asylum. She's going to take your calls. If you have any questions, call in, 813-642-3166. If not, we're going to move on to the next question for you. So, as an actor, you've been acting so long, I believe, since you were 6, yes. What was your most memorable moment in acting?
Oh, gosh. I mean, obviously the 6 months or 9 months or whatever it was doing Pepper were magical. Like, that whole, from the beginning to end, it was just... I assume you mean something other than that. Because really, that was, from the moment I was cast, it was like, it was always something. It was like, oh, and now you're gonna have to shave your head. Oh, and now your character just like transformed. Oh, and now there's people's, tattooing you on their leg, and oh, there's posters of you up for the presidency up around town. Like, It was just sort of like from beginning to end, and even then it hasn't ended. Like, it's this never ending sort of just dream, honestly. So I've never obviously experienced anything like that. But aside from that, I would say, going to Edinburgh was a highlight for anyone involved with theater. Edinburgh, Scotland has a huge theater festival. Basically, the city of Edinburgh triples in size during the month of August.
Wow.
Literally, there's a production in every single corner of the city. It's just outrageous. The town is just sort of riddled with actors, which you can imagine how crazy that is. It's basically like a month-long Mardi Gras. And you can go to a different play every single hour. In fact, I want to say there's something like 2,500 productions in one city.
That's
so you
nuts.
get the idea. Literally every single, there are hotel rooms that are converted into theater spaces, and church basements where they're putting on rock musicals. It's just outrageous. And I took my one-woman show there, and it was a huge challenge. It was I was all alone, and I was climbing uphill both ways with a duffel full of dildos, trying to fill a house every single night at 11 p.m. In a foreign country where I didn't even understand what they were saying to me. It was a challenge, but it was awesome. It was just, I met such great people and got great reviews, and it's really, for, like I said, for an aspiring actor, that's like climbing Kilimanjaro. That's kind of one of those things that you haven't lived till you've done that. And I think it really kind of separates the men from the boys as far as what are you in it for? Are you just trying to make a fast buck? Because let me tell you, acting, that's not the way.
No.
And this really is a great way to see okay, why do I want this? For me, I just want it because I want it. It fulfills me. I'm alive, in front of people in a way that I'm not otherwise. So this sort of an experience like that really confirms that.
Wow, that
kind of shows the actor what they're made of. Are they really up for this sort of thing?
I couldn't.
It's kind of like Survivor.
Yeah.
If you're still on the island at the end of that month, You're probably in the right profession.
And you're like, yes, I did it. This is for me. And I couldn't imagine how it would feel seeing my image or my network or whatever I'm doing, if I'm acting or whatever, on a piece of poster or someone's leg. That would just mind blown. Boom, done.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I mean, honestly, I've sort of wanted it my whole life, so I have been kind of I've used my what is that, the secret or whatever.
Right. Yeah. We're gonna get to that in a minute.
I've been channeling this my whole life. It's nice to finally see it happening.
Oh yeah. We're gonna take that in a minute, but we got a caller here on the line. So 740. How are you doing?
Hi there.
Hi. How are you doing? You're on the Insomniac Radio Network.
Yes. I was just calling in to say hi to Naomi.
Hi.
Hi there, Naomi. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. This is Sal Lizard. I don't know if you remember me or not, but we met up in London, Ontario.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, that was so much fun. There's a great horror convention up there called Shock Stock that he's talking about. It's super fun. There are horror conventions all over. There's one every weekend, I imagine. Can't go to all of them, but that was a really fun one. They just treated us so well. It was so intimate and nice. I really got a sense like I actually, got to meet everybody, which was really cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and you and I are going to be at another one coming up pretty soon. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. We'll be at
what convention's that?
Pardon?
Which convention is that?
Scaricon up in Verona, New York at the Turning Stone.
You know what? I shouldn't say this on the radio, but I need them to call me.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Well,
I'm not kidding. A fan tweeted me that I was going to be appearing at that, and I said, news to me, okay. And sure enough, I went on their website, and I'm all over their website. They're advertising me being there. So I contacted them, and I said, hello, I'm all over your website. Can you tell me a little something about your convention? It's the first I've heard of it. And they said, oh my goodness, this is terrible. This is embarrassing. Let's remedy this. And as it turns out, we're just sort of playing phone tag, and I haven't heard from them. So I don't know what's going on. Obviously, they're still planning on having me there, but,
Well,
I assume I'll be there. I'd like to be there, but at the same time, we're going to have to, stop playing phone tag and make this happen, close this deal,
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, I just wanted to call up and say hello, let you know that I was listening to your show, and of course, you've always been interesting. So.
Oh, well, thank you.
I certainly enjoyed it.
Well, I look forward to hopefully seeing you there in New York.
All right, that sounds good. I'll let you get back to your questions, and I'll look forward to seeing you. I'll let JJ know you need to give you a call also.
Will you please? Thank you, but
will.
Not like in a, just a gentle nudge.
Yes, I understand these things.
Okay.
Thank you for calling in. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it. I've got fans doing my homework for me. I should give them a 10% commission or something, huh?
Well, there you go. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So we already covered how long did it take to do Pepper. We already got that one. I prepared a lot for you. I'm very excited you came on the show. And once again, I appreciate it, Naomi, so much. And
of course.
This leads to another kind of a weird question. I would hope that celebrities or, even local artists and, bands and stuff like that wouldn't do this. But do you ever get annoyed? I know it's very stressful and you just sometimes just want to relax and just be with yourself. Do you ever get annoyed by signing or meeting fans? I would hope not. I doubt it. But
no, of course not. I don't. That's another thing people are always like, you're so nice. And I'm like, really? Like, how hard is it for me to sit here and sign my name? Like,
right.
I mean, I have other, that's so, no, of course not. Besides, that's part of it. I mean, I'm glad, I'm so thrilled that I got to this level in my career where people even want my autograph. You know what I mean? Like that's awesome.
I agree. And when I'm working at, the convention, people are like, "Oh, do you think she's packing up real quick? Do you think she'll still take me and she'll autograph?" I was like, "She would love to. Go right up." They would love nothing more.
Yeah, I mean, I supposedly there are actors out there that don't enjoy that and give some attitude. I don't understand those people. Like, why are you doing this then?
Yeah.
They could just stay home. Yeah, if that's the case.
But they enjoy seeing their fans and coming out and hanging with them and sharing good times that they've seen on the show and telling stories about behind the scenes and whoever talking politics or whatever they get into conversations with. I know Kane Hodder is an awesome person. He talks to whoever and talk about whatever. He's an awesome guy.
I adore my fans. I got to be honest. Like I have a Facebook fan and friend. They're really kind of the same thing at this point because I never made my friend. I never made my friend page private, so it's just sort of a crazy free for all. But even then, my fan page is so much more fun than my friend page. My fans like things like maybe twice as much as my friends. And it's kind of like, it's almost hurtful. I almost want to go like, dude, friends, like, where are you? Like, hello, you're supposedly my friends. But my fans are just, they're awesome. Like, even yesterday, actually, I organized like a little call in from, because I happen to have like a ton of fans in Brazil for whatever reason, and so I tweeted to them like, hey, call me at this live stream number or whatever, and we talked, and I'm not getting paid for that. Like there's nothing I get really out of it other than just knowing that I'm reaching out to them, and that's part of an actor's job. I think I'm like I said, I'm thrilled to just be at that point in my career. 'Cause for the longest time, nobody wanted my autograph for the life of me.
Yeah, really. You got people with your face on their legs. I mean, that's gonna be something.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's crazy. And that's dedication as a fan.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I gotta meet that guy.
Maybe
there's more for all I know, but I do know. I'll like I said to that caller, I'll be in New York here the next couple of months, and I gotta look him up.
Yeah. Yeah, you should do that. Get to talking with him and see why he actually, what influenced him to do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the least I can do.
Well, that's pretty cool, that you got fans like that, and that's awesome. That means someone. It means, you can keep doing what you're doing because you love it, obviously, and you're glad that they love you doing what you love.
Yeah, yeah.
And we got two tweets here. We got one from Skipjack. So, are we ever going to see you in Sons of Anarchy? Laugh out loud.
Ooh, that's interesting. I would love to. Hey, gosh, I would say tweet the show, tweet Sons of Anarchy, or well, that's an FX show, isn't it? Uh-huh. The network or the powers that be over at Sons of Anarchy. Let them know that you want to see me on that show. I would love to. I actually befriended Michael Ornstein on at a convention actually just about 2 weeks ago, and we're actually looking to work on something together. Not Sons of Anarchy, something independent, but gosh, I'd love to be on that show.
Yeah, Michael, he's an awesome guy. I met him, and then I realized who he was on the show. I was like, oh, that's a guy that touches himself. Lovely.
I know, and I let him hug me and everything.
Yeah. Well, now he's got the gloves on. You're good. But another one from our co-host, he tweeted us. He said, "Do you ever get spooked out by paranormal investigations?"
I'm sorry to say, not really. I worked on a show which fans might have seen, called Destination Truth.
Okay. We used to
which
watch
is on
that
the
show.
Sci-Fi channel.
Yep.
And honestly, sorry, Sci-Fi Network, but you didn't pay me enough to tell not to tell people that all that's fake. So, at least that show, like we were, it's basically, kind of staged reality TV, and it's, it's. I saw how manipulated it was, that it's hard for me to take any of that too seriously. I will say, like, American Horror Story first season scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, it was
and
creepy.
I think that's just because I wasn't able to see behind the smoke and mirrors. I in fact, I got cast, and then I watched the show in that order. When I auditioned, I hadn't even seen it before, so really didn't really know what I was getting into. So yeah, that first season really scared me. I think it's like we all have like things that scare us, like ghosts totally scare me. Like I believe and they scare me. Aliens not as much. Raspers. What else? Gosh, there was a ton of stuff in this last season. But, I think for me, this season was less scary only because I got to see behind it all. So with every frame, with every shot on TV, I was kind of able to imagine what else was, oh, there's a guy holding a cable right next to Jessica Lange there, that you guys didn't get to see. So for that reason, I think this season was less scary for me. But I see how others said it was much scarier. And I can see that too. I mean, it was definitely much more complicated and, complex.
Right. I'm glad you said that because we have a paranormal show here on the Insomniac Radio Network, and I was just talking about paranormal TV shows and how fake they are, and that people actually believe them.
I on YouTube, if people want to go on, I think if they just look up me, that is Naomi Grossman, and maybe Para-Drunken Activity.
That sounds awesome.
I created this ridiculous little short that's basically a parody of Paranormal Activity, the movie. Nice. And it's basically, it was just dumb. It was inspired by a birthday I had where I just got really drunk and I just did all these ridiculous things in the night. And I woke up the next morning and of course I didn't remember any of it. But it was like there was all these almost like paranormal things that I kept finding throughout the day, like the next day, that it just reminded me so much of that movie. Like, oh my God, all my clothes are wet. What's that about? Like it was like almost like a paranormal thing. And then I realized, oh, it's because I peed in my closet. Yeah, that's what happened. But anyway, the fact is, I think there's, to me, those sorts of shows and movies are kind of ripe for comedy, actually. And that's why, like I said, I created one of my own.
Right. That's awesome. I'll have to check that out, guys. Once again, if you can check that out on YouTube, like she said, just type Naomi Grossman,
Para-Drunken Activity.
Yeah. We got another tweet from James Wild. Do you have any tattoos? He says.
No, my body is my temple. It's nothing against my pal, my bestie, that does apparently have my face on his leg. That's awesome. But no, a lot of it is I'm so indecisive that like I have a hard time like getting dressed in the morning, much less committing to something for the rest of my life. I couldn't like ever.
80 tattoos that I want, but I don't want any of them.
Yeah, no. But also, I mean, really, mostly it's just comes down to like I'm an actor, and I need to be a clean slate. Like I need casting or whatever to be able to do anything with me. And if they want me tatted up, they'll tat me up. If they want me to be a pinhead, shoot, they'll make me into a pinhead. Like whatever they need. So I know a lot of actors that have to go in to make up early just to cover up their their tattoos. And I don't want to make their job any harder than it is. I want to make it very easy for them to cast me.
I agree. Yeah, it's just like going out and getting a job. an interview.
Right.
It's the same thing.
There you go. I mean, it's a
Um,
totally different thing because in Hollywood, nobody like judges you for having a tattoo.
Oh, right, yeah.
But
so crazy over there.
yeah, I mean, it does sort of make you a certain type, and I'm trying to not be any. I want to be whatever type,
Mhm.
whatever they need.
Right. Yeah. We got two more questions, and then guys, if you want to call in real quick before we let Naomi do what she does and spend some time by herself doing the daily duties. Call in 813-642-3166. We'll get you on the line. You can ask your question. But right now, for Spooky Empire, what was your best memory at Spooky Empire?
Oh gosh, that was such a fun time. Let's see.
I remember Mr. Thetis being in the jacuzzi in his skibbies during the night. That was a good sight to see.
You know what's funny? People actually said to me like, "Oh my God, you're so crazy! I saw you in your dress in the hot tub," and it really wasn't all that. I don't know. I didn't particularly want to get down into my bathing suit in front of everybody and their mother. Not that, who cares? But honestly, it's more about my hair. Like they shaved my head, and so I'm not trying to be a crazy woman tearing her hair off. It's like it was easier just to put my legs in than commit to a bikini and shaved head. I mean, that was really fun. Honestly, all of it. The whole weekend as a whole, I just met such great people, and people were so friendly, and from the organizers of the event to the fans to the volunteers to the fellow stars. I mean, I met so many people, yeah. I mean, honestly, that was the biggest convention I've ever been to like that. Like I said, I really enjoyed the smaller scale convention there up in London, Ontario, in Canada. That was awesome, but for a whole other set of reasons. This was just a massive scale. I mean, seeing people wearing stilts and and costumes, and I mean, it was just. Actually, I can just erase everything I just said. I would say probably the highlight was meeting artists who'd actually painted my image.
I remember
there
that.
were two in particular.
Yeah.
There's a guy who does paintings. He's called the Anti Warhol, and he does sort of Warhol, Andy Warhol-esque paintings of horror characters. And I highly recommend you go on his. I know he has a Facebook page. I think it's called the Anti Warhol. World of, or something like that. It's anyway, Anti-Warhol. And there's another artist. He goes by the name of Germ Spider Designs. He's an adorable guy. His name is Jeremy Spicer, and he also has a really fabulous pepper. Anyway, meeting those guys, seeing how I, inspired others' work. Oh, you know what? Too, there was a craftsperson who was making pepper pendants. Her name is Cariz. I'm probably butchering her name. Cariz Creations. I mean, you can Google any of these people, and you'll see not only the pepper art, but all the other art they do. I mean, they're just super creative, and that was really exciting to see that I'd inspired others.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
we always have a good time at Spooky, and the October convention is totally, 2 bumps up from that, and it's just so many more people.
That was really fun. I won't be there this October. I want to say it's the same weekend it's the weekend right before Halloween, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I'll be at Chiller, which is in New Jersey, which is also a huge, huge, huge convention. So for anybody listening on the, in the Northeast, please come and see me in Parsippany, New Jersey. If you're not down at Spooky, hopefully I'll come back to Spooky another October.
Okay.
Or May, for that matter. But obviously, they've got to kind of space those out because, you know, if everybody's gotten my autograph, they don't need me to come and, you know, get it again. So I probably, you know, it makes sense that I wouldn't be going back this time. Although, boy, anytime I'll be back. Let me tell you, it was so much fun.
We definitely enjoyed you having you on the show as well as at Spooky Empire, and I know everyone else did. And you know, they always do a great job, you know, putting the celebrities in and getting them, you know, satisfied and taken care of with, you know, whatever they need.
Yeah, unfortunately, not all conventions are that well run or that well done. So yeah, that one is right up there. It sort of, you know, I haven't always had a great experience. So that one really reinstilled my confidence in the convention world.
Yeah, and we're thankful for that. And we work hard to get to that level. But one more question. Could you say you're listening to the Insomniac Radio Network? This is Naomi Grossman.
Sure.
Please, thank you.
Let me make sure I got that right. You're listening to the Insomniac Radio Network.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just say...
I'll make it my own, okay?
Okay, go for it.
I hope you can't tell that I'm totally congested right now and hopped up on, what is it called? Airborne.
Oh,
I guess
yeah, I've seen that stuff.
You can't really get hopped up on Airborne, but anyway. It makes me feel really badass. All right, let me get this straight. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This is Naomi Grossman, Pepper from American Horror Story Asylum, and you are listening to the Insomniac Radio Network.
That's perfect.
Was it? Okay, I said the Insomniac.
Yes.
Is there another?
That's correct.
Nah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Naomi. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and you have a great day, and hopefully we can get you back on and see you again at another convention.
Yay! Sounds great.
All right, have a great day.
All right, talk soon. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
There you have it, guys. Naomi Grossman from Pepper from the American Horror Story Asylum. You guys can listen to this podcast at wirn.wordpress.com and on Facebook. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/InsomniacRadioNet.